Hello and welcome to another auction e-commerce video. In this video series, we're going to be covering three main points. The first is, what exactly is this feature? What's the definition? What are the benefits? What are the high level aspects of this specific feature? Then we're going to go into number two, real world examples with this auction e-commerce scenario. So we're going to take a look at actual websites and this feature functionality in usage. And then the third thing that we're going to cover is different iterations of this feature set and how you might take advantage of it in your business. I encourage you to stay tuned till the end of this video because we have a fourth bonus round for you. In this bonus, we're going to be offering you free resources that you can get access to. With that said, folks, let's dive into this video on auction e-commerce. An auction e-commerce platform would not be complete without the ability to actually make an auction. In this particular video, we're going to be taking a look at how users can go about making auctions and talk about some of the different ways of doing this. And then we're also going to get into some nuance around an example that we're going to talk through here. And then finally, we'll talk about some different variations for your business. Now, to start with, in general, creating an auction should be really, really simple. Now, generally speaking, we're going to want to offer the seller the ability to create an auction in a desktop app, but they could also potentially import it dynamically from an external system, or possibly allow them the ability to even access auctions in other auction platforms and bring them in. This is a very competitive way to keep things moving and really scale your system easily. We may also want to leverage the ability to deliver a capability to the user to create an auction using a auction mobile application or tablet application as well. Now, these are just some of the different variations that make a lot of sense for your auction e-commerce platform. Now, in general, whenever someone is adding an auction, we want to have some very basic standard information as a requirement, but it also makes sense to include other details depending on your business logic and your business scenario. As a guideline or a guidance, and provide some really opinionated feedback to the seller so they understand some of the standards for what makes sense whenever they're creating an auction. So let's dive in and take a look at an example now. And in this particular example, you can see there's a list, a grid view with paging and filtering and sorting that the seller can go through. They can also create a new auction, and whenever they do that, they get into the actual details of the auction. Now here you can see they have the option to, within the auction itself, add multiple items. So this is pretty interesting. They can also, once the auction is underway, they can see the bids within that auction as well for each of the items. Now in this particular case, we want them to be able to add basic information, as you can see at the top. We're going to want them to be able to drill down and go look at the images and videos and add and sort those, the auction schedule, invoice and tax settings, location, and marketing information. So here's some basic information. It's possible that you may want this to include multiple additional fields, as well as the ability for them to select the category subcategory model. Now, depending on how your system works, you may want to approve this or have some type of AI or machine learning type of logic to be able to flag anything that doesn't match. For example, we could run an AI against the description and just ask the question if the category they selected matches the description in the title. If it doesn't, it gets flagged, and we may want to use some fuzzy logic to be able to do that. Now, we also are showing images and videos. Here you can see they can add either, and then they can sort them. They'll also see that there will be featured images and videos, and then there's a horizontal divider to show additional items below that. They can set the schedule for the auction. Here you can see they're setting schedule for inspections and then removal. And so this is just very specific to this business logic. But what is your business logic? What is your specific auction and the rules around your auction? Hopefully this can help you think of how you might be able to do things with your specific auctions. Invoice and tax settings, being able to disable online payment. So you may want to require a check payment, for example, so that you don't have to pay a percentage fee if you're a seller for the credit card processing fees. Just an example. The ability to add a footer to the invoice, maybe contact information, possibly a link to pay through that system. We may want to ban people from putting certain information into this footer. And again, have an approval process if they change their footer and it hasn't been approved. It's really up to you. They can also select a default invoice, and then they can set different tax rates. So again, we may want to verify that these are correct, or have some type of AI or machine learning type of logic that just goes through and does a basic check against the database or an accumulated set of data that we have. Here they can also set information about their address from a dropdown, or create a new address and then verify that on the map dynamically. And then they can also choose from options for featuring, having a homepage banner, an email blast, Google ads created, a Facebook post, a print ad, or other options for helping them with marketing this particular auction. And then of course, you can see they have a different details here as well around submitting it to an internal team member if that team member would need to receive additional details around the marketing. But ultimately, at the end of the day, this is an example of a detailed listing of the auction itself. And we'll also take a look in a separate video at the items within the auction as well. So this is sort of a group of items within an auction, and we'll take a look at the items separately. But we hope that this was helpful, and we're going to wrap up with offering you some complimentary resources and just an overview of what some of those are to help you along your journey with your auction e-commerce software. Thanks for watching this video on auction e-commerce. This is a series of videos, and we want to encourage you that you're welcome to take a look at the additional features and functionalities as you see fit, and may be a good area for you to understand more. You can take a look at the detailed next video in this series by clicking the link that we've provided. We also have a set of links to all of the different videos in a playlist that you can take a look at. We've also compressed the videos into a single overall video. And if you would like, we've put together a free resource guide and checklist on auction e-commerce. One of the other things that we love to do at Clarity is provide you with complimentary guidance with some of our technical experts. So if you're interested in this, we call this a complimentary discovery, and you're welcome to go to our website, link below in the description, and go ahead and get that free complimentary discovery. We just want to say thank you again so much for watching this video and for being fans and subscribers. If you would, we would love it if you would do some auction with the like button and go ahead and hit the winning bid on the like button. All jokes aside, we really appreciate you guys watching. Hope you have a great rest of the day, and we'll look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thanks again.